Hi, I'm Rosa. Thank you for joining me. I am home. It's the weekend. I just love the weekends when I'm not working and able to be home and take care of some stuff. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing today. So today I got up, went to the grocery store, bought some cinnamon rolls and made those. And then I made tacos for lunch with some a roast that I had cooked yesterday. And I have this flower stand that was kind of rusting, and I'm okay with the rust coming through it, but I put a little spray paint on it, and I'm going to just touch it up with spray paint and then let it dry so I can put it where it belongs. This is what I'm using to, this is what I'm using to paint the flower stand. And that discoloration there is what it was everywhere. So I'm going to spray this bottom side, let it dry, and then put it back in place. I did my nails a little bit ago, nice purple color, but I probably should have finished spray painting the flower holder before, because now I have paint on my nails, but oh well. And I had my house painted this week. That's my home. It was blue, and now it's a beigey color. And this feature wall in the front is a little darker than the other color on that staggered edge siding, which I really like, that feature wall. The rest is just like a plank siding. And the door, or the doors, are like a nice rich chocolate color. Very, very, it's not quite brown. It's a really pretty color. But that's the house. My ground orchids are blooming, which is nice. That's a magnolia. And we need to pour some cement. So we're kind of trying to draw out where we're going to have our cement walkway. Mr. Lizard's on the side porch. I have decided that I am going to cook some garbanzo beans and some black beans tomorrow. So I'm soaking them so that they will be ready to cook tomorrow and do a little prep. So that's on the counter. I got a few dishes that need to be done from lunch. And I picked up a few little pumpkins at Costco. I haven't really started decorating for Halloween, except my son's Halloween calendar is up because he's a Halloween baby. So we have a countdown in October. And there's two of our puppers, Stella and Violet, enjoying the yard. And other than that, I just have some laundry going, which is one of my favorite things to do. I really enjoy doing laundry. I'm not being facetious. I'm just one of those people. By the way, that's our laundry. I don't enjoy doing laundry for others. I like having our laundry done because I feel like I've accomplished something in my home. And I really like taking care of my home. I just don't find a lot of time to be home. I still have laundry going, but it's such a beautiful day. My husband and I are going to go for a bike ride. And we've had rain every day for weeks. Our rainy season starts about May, but it came in late this year. And I could probably count on one hand how many days it hasn't rained in the last month. It is now the next morning. I made the garbanzo beans in the Instant Pot this morning before going to the farmer's market for just a few things and a coffee. And I am going to throw in the black beans now and make them. These are the black beans that I soaked yesterday or overnight, and I'm going to season them in this pot. I just showed you where I poured the black beans into the pot, but I'm going to make what we call sofrito on the stove top. So I'm going to put some tomatoes and onions and garlic and some seasonings and cook that on the stove top. Throw it in with my black beans to give them some seasoning, and then I am going to put it on the pressure cooker to cook them quickly and make some rice and eat that with pot roast and a salad for lunch, because I have pot roast left over in the refrigerator. And those garbanzo beans are going to become hummus, or some of it will be. First thing, and onion. And I need to get this fan on. Adding my garlic for a couple seconds. I don't want it to burn. I have just a whole bunch of spices. I added the spices for a couple minutes, and now the tomato. I'm just going to cook this a little bit and add it to my pot of beans and let it go on the pressure cooker. This is how it looks like. I'm about to put it in with the beans, and this is what I put in there. Oregano, onions, pepper, or more oregano, cumin, garlic, paprika, and apple cider vinegar, along with my onions, my garlic, and my tomatoes. I would have used tomato paste if I had it, but I don't, and I'm going to add some bay leaves to the beans. I have this little bit of bacon in the refrigerator. It's been there for a little bit, so I'm going to put that in here, and along with my seasonings. This is just for flavor. If I had some bell pepper, I'd put that in there, but there's 2 cups of black beans. I have 2 cups of water. I think I'm going to give it 1 more cup of water. I don't want it overly watery. That's a 1/4 cup. And they're all submerged. So 2 1/4 cups of water, 1 good stir, and I'm going to put this on the bean setting on this pressure cooker. With some of those garbanzo beans, I made hummus. There's garlic and olive oil, the garbanzo beans, or chickpeas as some people call them. And I actually threw in a little bit of parsley flake as well as salt. And I'm going to cut up some olives and put this in the refrigerator so we have some hummus to snack on. I have the rest of the garbanzo beans, chickpeas, drying on this towel so that I can put them in the freezer and freeze them to have for hummus another day. And I know that hummus is smoother if you take the outsides of the chickpeas off, the outer layer. Here's one. But I'm okay with having all parts of the chickpea in my hummus. It's a little thicker and not as smooth, but I like it just the same. I've chopped up both Kalamata olives and Spanish Queen olives, and that's my hummus there. It's literally covered in olives, but as you take some out, the olives will drop to the bottom, and it's just nice to have a little bite of olive on your little pita bread with your hummus. Or at least that's how I like it. It's going into the refrigerator. So I have this week. I haven't planned out anything for this week as far as meals, but I figured if I get enough things done, then it'll just make the coming week smoother. I had some ground beef that I've had thawing, and I have a bag of onions from the freezer, so I'm gonna make brown up some ground beef. Whatever we don't eat this week, I will put in the freezer for a pot of chili down the road. I have been making an effort now for quite a while of using what we have, trying to work through my pantry and work it down. I have too much stuff. I don't need this much food or items, and that's one of my goals, is to work it down. So I'm just going to make several things that I have for the week that I should come up with a meal plan, but I haven't done that yet. I'm also going to throw in a load of laundry right now. I am going to throw in some towels because I did sheets yesterday and general clothing yesterday. So let's get some towels done. Here's that planter I painted yesterday. It's looking pretty good. It's where it's going to sit. It houses some shoes at the bottom, so I was just waiting for that to dry to put the shoes on. I think it's dry, but we'll leave it for now. I think it looks good. I'm happy with how it came out. I'm throwing my towels in with my dryer balls to dry. I think I'm about done with laundry for the weekend. I have some things I need to clean up in the laundry room, including the top of the dryer. I've decided to move things around, and all that needs a home. I just haven't found it yet. Time to throw in that ground beef that I thawed. cook the ground beef, let's throw in these onions. Goodness. Let's see if these will turn out. They're a little mushy. Let's see if I can salvage them. If not, I'll cut up an onion. But I'm gonna try that. Okay, the onions fared okay. Once the water came off, I added a little olive oil. And now I'm gonna add the meat. So I threw in a bunch of seasonings and I really need some tomato paste. Of course, I don't have it. So I took a can of diced tomatoes, didn't use most of the juice, and put it in the NutriBullet to puree it down. So I'm just letting it cook off a little bit. I tasted the meat, it tastes good. It's cumin, oregano, salt, garlic, onion, and I threw in some parsley. I'm trying to use up the parsley for some reason. It bothers me that it's in there, so I'm using it. Instead of the pot roast meat, I put the ground beef picadillo, and I put olives in there as well. Black beans and rice, and a nice side salad. And that's lunch today. And that's a pretty productive weekend for me, I think. Some laundry, some cooking, a little bicycling, a little time getting stuff done at home. A nice weekend reset. Thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.